The Thargoid War in 2023 is a lot different than many of the videos that you will see on the internet about how to dispatch such a creature from the universe. My name is Foxtrot Echo 1, and today I'm going to discuss my impressions of the Thargoid War expansion that appeared in Update 14 in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. The first thing I want to say about the Thargoid War is that it's a great addition to the game. They've done a lot of things for a lot of other playstyles, and it was nice to see that they finally have given us combat guys something to shoot besides each other. The Thargoid War, of course, has been going on for quite a while, but in the past, before Update 14, the Thargoids were a lot more passive. You actually had to antagonize them or shoot them to get them to interact with you. They would come up to you, they would scan you, stick out little tentacles and, lick your face or whatever, and then you could choose whether or not you fight them. These Thargoids are very aggressive and very strong, very difficult to kill, and you really have to be on your A game. This is basically end game content that they are now trying to open up a little bit to people that are maybe less interested in combat. I would personally say that the majority of people that play Elite Dangerous are likely not combatants. They are explorers, traders, miners, things of that nature, which is very common in space games. But I think for Elite Dangerous to continue on, to evolve, it needs to have, other facets that are a little less science, a little more pew-pew. So just for a brief breakdown of what's going on here, without getting too deep into the mix, the Thargoids, we have been tampering with them and poking at them and prodding them for quite a while, and suddenly they showed up with 8 maelstroms, which are really huge giant clouds of hot magma gas, caustic gas, and other really vile bad things in there. And they're red and black, and they're spooky places. Actually, I like it. But they have come to occupied human space in these 8 maelstroms, and they're physically attacking populated and non-populated systems in what's called the bubble. That's where most human entities reside. There are people that have traveled away. There's another place called Colonia that's a lot further away from the bubble, and there are other groups that go out into the black, into the Milky Way galaxy, which is what Elite Dangerous is. It's a 1-to-1 copy of the Milky Way galaxy based on all the data they have. Well, a lot of things are procedurally generated. It's basically a huge amount of space. More vast than most people can wrap their head around. So my warning to you guys, though, is to be careful when you're going out here against these Thargoids. They are not friendly at all. They don't take prisoners. They're very aggressive. So when you watch these videos about, cold orbiting and all that stuff's really nifty, except it doesn't work as good against the aggressive ones as it did against the passive Thargoids. Now, whether those two groups are separate or different sects, this is an insectoid type race. So if you imagine, an ant colony or multiple ant colonies and queens and all that, this is what I base a lot of my theories on. I believe that this has really been interesting. Of course, it can be repetitive if you're doing the same kind of missions over and over. And I'll tell you right now, when you first start out, even though there's gravity, it is better to do the ground missions, the ground base attacks and things of that nature, if you're going to do the combative stuff. If not, they also have missions where you can bring supplies to a war zone. You can also rescue either passengers with passenger missions, or you can rescue injured people, which is more of a cargo box situation. So you can do that as well to help in the Thargoid war. And basically, our mission right now is we're trying to stop them from advancing too far into the bubble. We don't want them to take over the entire bubble, which I don't believe that Frontier would do, but hey, who knows? Yeah, do your part, help out. In a couple weeks from the recording of this video, update 15 will release, and I believe, my prediction is that they're going to release a sort of a mothership or a queen of the Thargoids. If they don't, I think that would be really lame, but if they do, this is going to be an entity that will not be thwarted easily. There are already Thargoids that are literally, for most common pilots, cannot kill anything bigger than a Medusa, which is 4th tier. I think there's Scouts, there's Cyclops, there's Basilisk, the Medusa, yeah, and then the Hydras. The Hydras are really hard on the ground, especially if you don't have multiple people. But when you get out into space, you are going to find things are a lot different because they have these swarms, and the swarms can be very aggressive and come after you and just wreck your ship with caustic damage and things like that. I'm going to talk about this more in the future. Right now I just kind of wanted to do an impression video. I am very excited for the Thargoid War. I hope that they continue to, expand on this exobiology. Please, for the love of God, fix the engineers, make it streamlined, and, tell us where Chloe Sidisi went. Thanks.